Welcome back to The Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into a stack of sources that, honestly, confirm one of the biggest shakeups I've seen in media for a long time. We're talking about early 2024. Something happened that, well, nobody really predicted. YouTube, the place for cat videos and vloggers starting out, it actually became the #1 streaming service in America.
And the kicker.
Still completely free.
Exactly.
Free. Just think about that. All those big players, with their exclusive shows, high production costs, monthly fees.
Right. The whole traditional model.
Yeah, that model got beaten by a free platform, one built on, well, user creativity and just making stuff accessible. So our mission today is to really unpack these sources, figure out the how. How did YouTube manage to beat giants like Netflix, like Disney, companies spending just billions on content?
And what's really interesting looking through this material is how straightforward the core reason seems to be. It wasn't really about having like a bigger budget for shows.
Yeah.
No, it was more like they cracked an economic code,
Yeah.
something their competitors just couldn't figure out. The sources all point towards this advertising model they perfected. It got rid of the subscription wall.
Okay.
And maybe more importantly, it just focused relentlessly on the customer experience. It feels like a story of choosing long-term value over just grabbing short-term cash.
Okay, let's get into that. Where do we start? I guess with the numbers that first really made everyone sit up and notice.
Yeah, the data.
The Nielsen revelation. This wasn't just some internal memo. This is Nielsen, the gold standard for tracking what Americans watch. This landed like a bomb in Hollywood, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Complete disbelief, according to one source. It says when the May 2024 Nielsen numbers came out, one executive literally had to double-check the math. They couldn't quite believe it.
And the number was?
YouTube had captured 12.5% of all American TV viewing time. All TV viewing.
12.5%. And how did that stack up against, say, Netflix, the name everyone associates with streaming?
That's what makes it so stark. Netflix only managed 7.5%.
Wow.
So it wasn't just that YouTube edged them out. It was a significant lead.
Right, a huge margin. But it's not just a snapshot in time, is it? It's about the trend, the momentum.
Exactly. When you dig deeper, that's where it gets really telling.
Yeah.
YouTube's viewing time wasn't just high. It was exploding. It grew 32% in just 1 year.
32%, okay.
Now, compare that to Netflix. All their marketing, all their big show launches, their viewing share grew by, well, the source called it a pathetic 0.4%.
0.4%. That's basically flatlining.
Pretty much.
So that difference, 32% growth versus less than 0.5%, that tells you almost everything, doesn't it? It's not a blip. It's a fundamental shift. Consumers are voting with their eyeballs and fast.
Absolutely. It confirmed this long-term pattern. For the very first time, all digital viewing combined streaming, YouTube, everything hit nearly 45% of total TV time. And YouTube was spearheading that.
While the old guard crumbles.
Right? Broadcast, cable. You can see the cord-cutting impact right there in the numbers.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, our sources say that initially, some media executives just dismissed that 12.5%, said it was like statistically impossible.
Really?
Yeah, they argued Nielsen must have messed up how they define TV viewing, but that denial, just shows how stuck they were in that old subscription thinking. They couldn't see the change happening right in front of them.
Okay, so the Nielsen numbers paint the picture of what happened, but the how? How did YouTube afford to give away that much viewing time for free? That feels like the real question.
That takes us to the engine behind it all, what the sources call the $100 billion creator engine.
$100 billion.
Yeah. And what's fascinating is the risk involved, or rather the lack of it for YouTube. Think about Netflix spending, what, $17 billion a year?
Yeah.
Gambling huge sums up front on shows that might totally flop.
High risk, high reward. Maybe.
Maybe. But YouTube found a way to get incredibly engaging content, often better performing content, without that massive upfront bet.
Through the revenue sharing. That's the key.
That is the absolute genius of it. YouTube doesn't commission everything. It just shares the ad money. Creators get 55% of the revenue from ads on their videos.
55%. So the creators are directly incentivized.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It completely changes the dynamic.
Yeah.
It's not a gamble anymore. It's pay for performance. And the scale is just mind-blowing. The sources confirm since 2021, YouTube has paid out over $100 billion to creators.
$100 billion. That's more than...
More than most subscription services spend on their entire content library combined. Think about it. YouTube only pays when a video works, when it actually attracts viewers and ad revenue. If a video bombs, YouTube loses practically nothing. Server space, maybe.
Right.
But if it's a hit, The creator gets paid well, and YouTube gets 45% of a potentially massive ongoing revenue stream. It's this, like, self-fueling, always improving machine.
That amount of money is incredible. But let's push on that a bit, like we do. Does that revenue share model, does it always encourage the best kind of content? Or does it sometimes push creators towards, say, clickbait, or things designed just to go viral quickly, maybe sacrificing depth? What did the sources say about that trade-off?
That's a really fair point. And yeah, initially, especially in the early days, there was a lot of low-effort stuff, no question.
Okay.
But what the long-term success seems to prove is that the sheer volume and diversity, the sort of abundance of content, it allows quality to eventually surface, often in ways that surprise traditional execs who equate quality only with big budgets. The system ultimately rewards things that keep people engaged, build loyalty over time.
And you definitely see that success stories in the people who really figured out how to make the system work for them. Like Emma Chamberlain.
Okay.
She wasn't some Hollywood insider. Started filming vlogs in her bedroom, 16 years old, just using her phone.
Yeah, basic setup.
2 years later, 12 million subscribers. Launches her own coffee brand, Chamberlain Coffee. And now, just from the YouTube revenue share and the brand deals that came from her channel, she's likely earning more than a lot of traditional actors stuck in studio deals.
It really shows that power shift, doesn't it? And look at Mr. Beast. He's pulling in hundreds of millions a year through this exact system. An individual essentially outperforming entire TV networks in reach and impact.
It's wild.
Or even something as simple conceptually as Ryan's World, just unboxing toys, that generated $27 million. It proves that sometimes authenticity and a direct audience connection just beats a huge corporate budget hands down.
Okay, so the money makes sense, the creator model works, but here's where it hits home for millions of people. How did YouTube jump from being, that internet thing you watch on your phone to actually dominating the main TV screen in the living room?
Yeah. The living room invasion.
Because legacy media bosses, they dismissed the YouTube TV app at first, didn't they? And the sources say that oversight was, fatal.
They completely missed the boat on the cord-cutting momentum. By 2022, people weren't just watching YouTube on phones anymore. The time spent watching YouTube on actual television sets, big screens, blew past 1 billion hours daily.
1 billion hours a day on TVs.
Yeah. Families were actively searching for ways to ditch those expensive, bloated cable packages. They want something free, something with more variety.
And the numbers back that up. YouTube TV, their sort of cable replacement service.
Right, the virtual cable provider.
It went from 5 million subs to over 8 million in just 2 years, making it the biggest service of its kind in the U.S.
And at the exact same time, traditional cable, losing 6 million customers.
Yeah.
Every single year.
It's a direct transfer.
It really is.
Yes.
And you see the human side of it in stories like Patricia Williams from Ohio mentioned in one source, paid $150 a month for cable for 30 years.
Wow. That's loyalty or inertia.
Right. She finally canceled in 2023. Now she saves $1,200 a year. That's real money back in her pocket. And she says she watches more stuff she actually likes now for free.
That feeling that I've been overpaying for years for less choice. That's powerful. That's the kind of emotional shift that really kills off an old model, isn't it?
Totally. And it was turbocharged by this deep subscription fatigue. The sources are crystal clear on this. People got fed up. Why? Prices kept going up and promises got broken.
Yeah, the price hikes were relentless.
40% of consumers canceled at least one streaming service in the first half of 2024 alone. Netflix, Apple TV Plus, Soup, Disney Plus Hulu. They all jacked up their prices, often multiple times.
Remember David Chen's story from The Source? He was an early Netflix guy, paying $7.99 back in 2010.
Right, the good old days.
By 2024, his base price hit $15.49. Then they added the $6.99 fee if you wanted to share your password outside your home. His bill suddenly jumped to over $22.
Ouch.
He canceled, said he realized he could get most of what he wanted on YouTube anyway for nothing.
And that password sharing thing, that felt like a real betrayal to a lot of people. Netflix literally tweeted, "Love is sharing a password," back in 2017.
I remember that.
6 years later, they're charging you extra for it. It just felt cynical. Same with Disney Plus, launched at a super attractive $6.99.
Yeah, everyone jumped on that.
Now it's $15.99. That's a 129% increase. And surprise, surprise, they lost 700,000 subscribers in just 3 months after one of those hikes.
You could almost feel the panic setting in at the legacy companies, couldn't you? They started doing desperate things.
Oh, yeah. Like HBO just deleting hit shows like Westworld from their own platform gone, just to avoid paying residuals down the line.
Which is crazy. You pay for HBO Max or whatever handheld now, expecting Westworld to be there, and it just vanishes.
Exactly. Or Disney yanking over 80 shows and movies off Disney Plus in one go, just erasing content people thought they had access to.
It felt like they were punishing their own customer.
It's the very definition of artificial scarcity, right?
Yeah.
Less content, higher prices. And the contrast with YouTube couldn't be clearer. Unlimited content, share it with your whole family, no restrictions, just supported by ads. Access over exclusion.
So if we zoom out again, connect this to the bigger picture, this isn't just about TV shows anymore, is it? YouTube's model is actually reshaping chunks of the U.S. economy.
Absolutely. It's moved way beyond just entertainment. The economic impact is staggering. One source details how YouTube's whole creative ecosystem contributed $55 billion to American GDP in 2024.
$55 billion from creators.
And that's up massively from $35 billion just 2 years before. That growth surge created the equivalent of nearly 500,000 full-time jobs, 490,000 jobs.
And these aren't all Hollywood jobs, right? This is spread out.
Exactly. And crucially, it's not just about ad revenue anymore. Creators are using YouTube as a launchpad to build real, scalable businesses in completely different areas. The platform enables this move into parallel industries. It's democratizing entrepreneurship in a way.
You see examples like Jeffree Star, built a huge following with beauty tutorials, then launched Jeffree Star Cosmetics, now doing over $100 million a year. The YouTube channel became his, marketing engine and test lab.
Precisely. The channel isn't the end product, it's the springboard. Or look at Markiplier, massively popular gamer.
Yeah.
Expands into Cloak, a clothing brand, doing around $5 million annually.
Yeah.
Or Rhett and Link. They started as a comedy duo. Now they run Mythical Entertainment, a full production company, merch empire, employs over 100 people, makes tens of millions a year.
These are legitimate, diversified media companies, essentially, built off a YouTube channel.
Sustainable businesses.
Yeah.
And it signals this wider systemic shift. Think about education. Creators like Khan Academy are, in many ways, competing directly with traditional classroom teaching in terms of reach and maybe even impact for some learners.
Yeah, my kids use Khan Academy all the time.
Right. And it's not just education. Universities, gyms, even local restaurants. They're now competing for attention and loyalty against individual creators who've often built stronger online communities than established brands ever managed. It's really decentralized influence and economic power.
Which brings us back to the top. The sources talk about sheer panic in the boardrooms of legacy media. Reports of Disney's CEO, Bob Iger, just watching the subscriber numbers bleed out even as they kept hiking prices.
It seems they were so caught up in their old way of thinking, protecting those subscription revenues, that they just fundamentally missed the point.
What was the point they missed?
They were busy fighting each other over exclusive shows that people were getting tired of paying more and more for. Meanwhile, YouTube wasn't playing that game. It just focused on the customer experience, making things accessible, affordable, abundant. They conquered the whole market by being radically user-centric.
So the bottom line, the core lesson from all this.
It seems to be that prioritizing genuine customer satisfaction, giving people value, choice, access, and sharing the rewards fairly with the creators who actually build that value.
Yeah.
That's the winning long-term strategy. It beats just focusing on quarterly subscriber numbers every time.
YouTube basically proved that abundance beats artificial scarcity, access beats exclusion. They gave people what they wanted, how they wanted it, mostly for free, powered by ads that, people seem willing to tolerate for the value exchange.
Exactly. The battle was effectively over before the old guard even realized they were fighting the wrong war. Customer obsession won.
It really makes you think. This raises a pretty big question, maybe for you, the listener, to ponder. YouTube showed that serving customers and creators at the same time builds this incredible momentum. It democratizes opportunity, transforms a whole global industry like entertainment. So if this model works so powerfully there, what other big established industry, something completely outside of media, do you think might be the next one to get disrupted, maybe even conquered, by a similar democratized, free, creator-focused approach?
That's a fascinating question. Something definitely worth chewing on.